I've watched a ton of TV shows. These days I've been rewatching a lot of childhood classics such as Bear in the Big Blue House, Dragon Tales, Oswald, and so much more. But every now and then I think about some stuff on TV that scared me when I was little. Most of it wasn't even intended to be scary, yet they scared me anyway. But now, as an adult, I've seen these scenes once again, and they don't scare me anymore. So in this video, I'd like to talk about some silly things that scared me as a kid. Here we go. I watched a ton of Disney Channel growing up, mainly Playhouse Disney, Disney Junior's former name. I basically watched every show that was on Playhouse Disney back in like 2002-ish. There were even short shows that played in between shows, and I watched those too. However, there was one series of shorts that scared me anytime they came on. The series of shorts was called The Professor and Franken Guy. This series would feature an unnamed professor who would try to help this giant cake-looking monster with whatever he needed. I don't know what it is about these shorts that scared me. Maybe it was Franken Guy. I mean, he did make a bunch of growling noises, but I don't know. Watching these shorts again, they're just silly. Like, the kids would tell the professor what Franken Guy really needs, but he doesn't always listen to them right away.
That was no good. It had too many corners on it.
Do the round one, the circle.
You're absolutely right. The triangle has less corners than that dumb old square.
No, do the round one.
This time we will not fail. We have failed miserably.
I remember watching a few Sesame Street tapes as a kid. Years later, I got a few more. Two tapes I remember watching the most were Elmo's Magic Cookbook and Bert and Ernie's Wordplay. Very nostalgic. In Bert and Ernie's Wordplay, they would put on a show about words and letters and stuff like that. They even included segments from past Sesame Street episodes. But one of these old segments scared me, and I watched the tape so many times I knew exactly when it was coming on, and I would always cover my eyes whenever it came on. Originally from episode 0536, this was The Fat Cat Scat. It featured three Muppets who would say words that would rhyme, and this other Muppet shows up and puts the words together in a sentence. I think what scared me about it was the way it was made. Like, the three just kept saying random words over and over again, and the way they were saying them.
Fat.
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 Cat. Cat.
Cat. Sat.
Sat.
Sat. Hat.
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 And you could just tell they didn't even have eyes. But I think it was these three that scared me more than the other guy. I mean, imagine watching this as a kid and seeing this on screen. This scene doesn't scare me anymore, and it's nice now to fully watch the tape without covering my eyes for that one segment. 2002 PBS Kids will always be my favorite version of PBS Kids. I watched a lot of the shows and the commercials were the best. They had these cool visuals and silly sound effects. I remember that one commercial that had the son reading a book. Whoops, wrong son. Anyway, the commercial would show everyone and everything reading a book. A lot of the commercials had something to do with reading or spelling. Now, the commercial that scared me was one of those reading commercials. It was the Share a Story commercial. I remember there was two of them. The one that scared me was the Share a Story song. In the commercial, there was the PBS Kids logo and two kids' heads that would pop up on screen like a Jack-in-the-Box. I remember seeing the kids' heads attached to the springs, and I thought, how are those kids' heads attached to the spring, and where did they come from? I remember that startled me. I wonder if it scared other kids too, because I saw that commercial once and never saw it again, until I found it again on YouTube, years later. Speaking of PBS Kids, let's talk about Zoboomafoo. Anyone remember that? It's basically Wild Kratts before Wild Kratts. Okay, not really, but both shows have the Kratt brothers. And yes, I know they had a show before Zoboomafoo. Anyway, Zoboomafoo was a show where the Kratt brothers and a lemur named Zabu would teach about different animal facts. I remember as a kid finding the closet scenes funny because they would always open the closet and stuff kept falling on them. But even Zoboomafoo had a scene that scared me. And I'm sure it was intended to be funny as well, but it instead scared me. I don't remember the plot of the episode. The episode was called Brain Power, but in the episode there was this machine of some kind. I don't remember what it did, but I definitely remember how the episode ended. The machine zaps the Kratt brothers and they turn invisible, and as they leave you see 2 floating backpacks, and seeing the floating backpacks is what scared me. But now I know they probably just used special effects or had the backpacks hanging on string or something, and it is kind of funny just to watch the backpacks floating away as they leave. I've been talking about stuff from TV shows, now let's talk about something from a video game. Super Mario Sunshine is among my top favorite video games. It's one of those games I would play from time to time. I basically have all of Isle Delfino memorized. However, there was this one thing in the game that I remember thinking was a little creepy. In the Hotel Delfino area of the game, there's an attic filled with these sleeping boos. I remember thinking they looked a little creepy. I think my sister didn't like them either. But I didn't know until years later the sound they make when Yoshi eats them. I don't know how I didn't know about that. I will admit they're still kind of creepy, but not as much as they used to be. Finally, I'd like to finish off this video with an episode of SpongeBob. There was actually a few things in SpongeBob that scared me when I was little, but I wanted to talk about this episode as it is one of the classic favorites. As you know, this episode, Crabborg, was about how SpongeBob saw a movie about robots and he thought Mr. Krabs was a robot. When I saw this as a kid, I took SpongeBob seriously and also thought Mr. Krabs was a robot. Yeah. But what really scared me with that episode was that scene where some salt got on Mr. Krabs' eyes and they turned red and he started screaming because it burned. I think I stopped watching the episode after that. I also remember my mom saying something like, "You know he's not really a robot, right?" I honestly don't remember what happened after that. I don't know if I watched the episode afterwards or I didn't want to watch any more of it. But I did watch the episode years later and now I think it's funny. Also, someone made an edit of a scene from this episode, and that video eventually led me to discovering one of my favorite YouTube channels, Electronic Gems. So that's interesting. Well, that's all I'd like to talk about. There's actually way more stuff than this, but I'll save that for a part 2. I don't know why these things scared me, they're not even scary. Most of it was intended to be silly. But anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Now go have some fun.